Okay. Um, do a sound check, microphone check, 1, 2. Time. I don't know if it's gonna help. You. Hey, hey, hey. Just my audio is let me see. Change the mic and my Bluetooth for playback. That looks louder. I don't get anything on my audio. Oh, it's because it's frozen. Beautiful. Shit. Always something with the tecker here. If that sounds any better. Check, check. 1, 2. I'm gonna spend a whole 5 minutes sound checking. It's amazing. Okay. Well, apparently now I'm unable to get my audio back. Hi, John. You have a wrench. Apparently, we know each other. Did you go by a different name before? But it's not coming out through my headphones now, but it's whatever, unless somebody comes in the room and we have audio issues, which I'll be on here now. Do, 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 do. Trusty Ape, back in town. You used to be a doctor. Oh, I see. All right. Well, welcome, doctor. I'm here because a long ass fucking week, but I made it through, and I'm back at my 30-day mark. Yes, 30 days of continuous sobriety, as they say. I don't know about the emotional sobriety. Yeah, yeah, Dr. Mordecai. I figured you out. Yeah, and I had an additional drug and alcohol panel screening done yesterday just to confirm that nothing snuck in there. Lost your theology license. Damn, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that. I should try to get me one of those. Seems like it'd be an easy class to pass, right? Um, in spite of all the roadblocks thrown in my way, I made it, through this far. Through some difficult fucking shit. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Usually with a lot of shit, I would have gone out and try to make myself feel better over and malpractice. Anything to do with your? Never mind. Um, no, I understand. Can you get that back though? Um, Sounds like something you should be able to recover from. I don't know. The Catholic Church sued me. Jeez, that's rough. All you need to do is go get molested by a priest, and then you can counter sue. Not that I'm recommending it, but it sounds like it'd be pretty easy to do. I don't know. Let's see if I can get through this without talking shit. Without talking shit, right? No, no, that's what I do best. Um, so I am, I'm kind of, past the point of analyzing what happened recently to me in regards to, some of the relationship shit I've been pursuing and stuff like that. I'm trying to analyze my part in it. The main thing for me is that I had accused this person of being very illogical, which they were. They were being highly illogical. But the main problem with that is that uh, it was illogical of me to be in that situation in the first place, right? So those are the layers you got to peel back and be like, okay, I should have known better than to put myself in that situation with that logical person. Therefore, my logic is flawed, right? So get to keeping your side of the street clean and your own bullshit, right? That's all fine and good. It's fine. So I've come to believe that there is a power greater than myself, and that power is logic. Um, and Deacon Bergman and I went on about this quite a while ago. It seems to be something that I need a constant reminder of for myself. Don't have sex with menstruating women. It freaks Jesus out. I haven't had sex at all. That's the crazy part. What's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? Good to see you. Happy Thursday. Yeah, I am happy. Can I sing the happy song? Is that Pharrell? 2 years ago, I remember there was a car accident on the I-80 out here in California. A woman died because she was driving on the freeway and decided that that was the moment she needed to share the post the "I'm Happy" song by Pharrell or whatever onto her Facebook page. And during the course of trying to create that post, she veered off the freeway and fucking killed herself. So be careful when you're using your phone and driving, or maybe just don't do that. But yeah, no, um, I'm having a good night. Um, People are illogical, you know. It's a fucking issue, and being that, for me, the thing that I need, right, for my sanity is just a whole bunch of logic in my life. When I get out of bed in the morning, the first thing I do is I have to consult logic and find out like what's the next thing I'm going to do, and is that logical? And then every step from there is hopefully based in logic and reason. Um, you know, when I look at a situation, I just ask myself, is this reasonable? And that seems to be the measure of sanity for me. Every sperm is sacred. Did I, doctor? How do you know this? You must be on my team because only people who are on my team know the in depth of this. But but yeah. So as it turns out, um, well, there's an ongoing police investigation, so I don't want to reveal too much. But yes, my seed may have been compromised against my will, and so that's part of this. Um, I was well. Anyway, so I put myself in this situation. Jesus said so. I'm like, how did you know that my difficulties had to do with sperm? So I am not a sperm donor. Yeah, I have four legitimate children that I'm aware of. Um, and so somebody had asked me to donate my sperm to them, and I declined. And then there was a several remarks made about stealing my sperm, and so I have suspicion that that may have happened. I don't have hard evidence. It's kind of hard to get hard evidence of somebody doing that, I suppose. Especially if you're unconscious. But regardless, that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, so I have to like I've got a bolo out. 9 or 10 months from now, if you see a baby that kind of looks like me, I did not consent to that, right? Uh, Jesus can't get hard. Jesus likes to watch. Yeah, I've heard that. He likes to watch when you're doing private stuff. I wonder if he watches while you're taking a shit. Wouldn't that be weird? And he watches while you're doing everything else. Um, so that's been kind of the ups and downs for me. Is that no? Wait, that's a strange way to put it. Yeah, lately dealing with that and other stuff. So, but regardless of all this, I'm like, okay, they fuck with my disability claim. They can fuck with my alcohol treatment program here. But they can't fuck with my sobriety. They can't fuck with my logic. I just fucking keep on plowing through it. And so it's a very different game today. It seems like no matter what, Jesus does watch you pooping. Uh, I was watching an interesting video from Institute of Human Anatomy the other day. They put out, and the title of that video is "From Mouth to Anus," which I think is a great title. Um, and he had mentioned that if you have like one of those long poops with a little curve at the end, kind of looks like a dick, that means that you've basically like the poop has come all the way down, like as a solid unit from I think it's your transverse colon. I'll have to rewatch to refresh on that. But yeah, it was showing the whole process, and I love that channel because they show real cadavers and real dissections, and it's good fun. Jesus made the butt for pooping. Well, he put a button in there, and I'll just say, the majority of the women that I have been with also enjoy it, and evidently gay men do as well. So there's a big pleasure receptor in there. For some reason, they designed us in such a way that making love in the no-no spot apparently is a yes for a lot of people, and helps to get that big O going. Jesus' G spot is in his ass. Yeah. Uh, Personally, I don't think I've ever uh, tickled that spot for myself. It's just not something that's. But hey, there's. I'm always open to new experiences. Wait, this is getting. Where we go with this? Um, hey, um, whatever. They say don't knock it till you tried it, and tried a couple of things more than once, and but that doesn't mean that you don't change. Your physiology changes, your mentality changes. A lot of things change over the years, right? So you just never know what you're going to enjoy tomorrow. Never thought I would be enjoying being sober, yet here I am. Rather than an altered state of mind, I want a consistently non-altered state of mind. Really strange to me. Way up in his ass. Uh, yeah, that's my story today. Sticking to it, but not that I haven't had some temptations. Temptations always there. Still have those lingering and intrusive thoughts, but you just don't give in to those. And the main thing is not to react to anything emotionally. It's been my main takeaway, and now Stoic principles have really assisted in in my process for what I'm doing right now, to remember that it's all of those temporary emotional states that cause discomfort, and learning to sit with discomfort and not having or not giving in to the impulse to try and alter what is, right? And then eventually it usually goes away on its own, or things just change, right? And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to put any additional chemicals in your body. Like, your brain's just going to take care of that on its own, and figure it out. Maybe one day you will love Jesus in a sexual way. Yeah, one of the Jesus dildos. Um, they have like a Mother Mary pocket pussy or something. Um, I have to look into that. I don't have any sex toys. Well, okay, I've got a couple of like whips. And my belt is always a sex toy. No, I'm not stoned. No, I don't have any substances in my system at all. I can't take screenshots of my Kaiser hack because I could show you, well, my drug test from yesterday. But no, I'm high on God. Wipes? No, I don't have wipes. I should. But like I said, I haven't had sex in a long time. Oh, whips. Yes. Yeah, I do have whips. I lost my handcuffs. Ooh, hey, got Wild Heart in the back.
Hello.
Welcome. Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Cheers. How's it going?
Good, good. Let me see if I can here.
Yeah, I like that. You've not got wipes, but you do have whips. That's the right way around.
Confused me for a second.
Yeah. Hello, John Lovell. Inside chat. Nice to meet you. Sorry, I've not been watching, so you'll have to catch me up when you get back. Wow, this is tricky. Yeah.
Sorry. So I just got a new Bluetooth headset, and I am struggling to reconnect it right now. So I'm going to try earbud here.
I can always do karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Switching devices real quick. This one.
John Lovelace, is it okay for me to be stoned chatting here? I would imagine so. It's not my channel, so yeah, but yeah, I would imagine so.
It keeps switching off. I tried to switch my Bluetooth device.
Oh yeah, they're always tricky then. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got these new headphones today.
Are you on mobile as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Just normal tobacco, by the way. Yeah. Sorry, just John Lovell. See that boy Wild has some nicotine. Yeah.
I got my cheap ass tailor-made cigarettes, $7 a pack.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. The cheapest one. And I roll my own as well. Yeah. So has it been going? I'm not supposed to in a while.
Yeah, good to see you, brother. Yeah. So yeah, today's my 30 days. 30 days clean and sober today. So yeah, I was just celebrating that.
Nice one. Well done.
Thank you. And yeah, I was just kind of talking about how all these forces seem to be against me. You know, just like all the little things that come up when you're trying to get sober and stay sober, and then it's like the whole fucking world's out to get you. You know, and but you know, like I haven't given in. You know, so. Yeah, I feel good about that, but it's just been crazy shit. So I was seeing this woman who was in the program too, and you know, basically yesterday I had to like file a police report on her and stuff because she started acting crazy. Yeah, and my sperm was involved. You know, she wanted me to donate sperm to her. I told her no, and so yeah, it's just been fucking weird. Like you would think that I would deal with this shit like when I'm like in active addiction, not with like people who are in treatment and being sober, you know. But people get really crazy when they get sober sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you don't need that kind of stuff when you're trying to. Yeah. So what you in like AA or NA?
Yeah, I do AA. I'm working with a sponsor, but I also still am doing cognitive behavioral therapy with Kaiser. That's my healthcare provider, and I do a Buddhist recovery program as well. So I mixed all those together.
So did you say Buddhist? Buddhist?
Yeah, it's called Recovery Dharma.
That's good. Oh, that's
That's Buddhist principles, and I really like that program. They do mindfulness meditation, and yeah.
I've done CBT before. That's good. Oh wait, it worked for me anyway. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so pretty much I got turned on to this website called Stoic Recovery, and I think they have meetings as well. I haven't found any yet. But they take like the 12 steps of AA, but they take out all the God shit, and then they rewrite the steps so it's all self-empowerment and just basing your life on being a better member of society and living by logic and reason, so like all that kind of works for me.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. I've been to like NA meetings, and yeah, a lot of it is God. Like about 4 or 5 at least of the steps are like, to do with God. It is very religious. Yeah, I can see that being better.
Yeah, I was making a joke to my friend earlier because he's got some of the same problems with AA, and he refuses to go. But I was like, dude, like you can just go in there and make your higher power like whatever you want. But I told him, yeah, I made my 30 days today, and I didn't hit my knees and pray one time, because that's like half the guys in the rooms are always like, if you want to stay sober, hit your knees and beg God to keep you sober. And I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen here. So.
Yeah, they make it out that you can make the higher power whatever you want, but like the way they phrase it and the way it works, it kind of has to be God. Do you know what I mean? The way the 12 steps kind of work. You can make it like a light bulb or a doorknob. That's what they tell you, but yeah, like the way it's phrased and it has to be like basically a God. So it is very religious, yeah.
My sponsor is a pagan, so he uses he says gods instead of God, but he knows that I'm an atheist too, and so he said there's no problem with that. Anytime when they're doing like the Serenity Prayer, and it's just replace God with your higher power. My higher power is logic, so just put logic in there, and it really just makes sense because really the first thing you're saying is like keep me sane. And it's like, okay, so it's like I'm not asking God to keep me sane. I'm asking logic to keep me sane, which like makes perfect sense when you think about it. And then like a lot of theists, if you get down into it, like they'll say shit like that, like God is pure logic and reason, And so it's like, okay.
Yeah. To be fair, I only went to about 3 meetings, so I don't want to come across as some expert or anything. It's just I got the blue book from NA. I read through that, but yeah, that's just how it. But yeah, I can see that working. Yeah.
Yeah, there are things that I like better about NA. Certain things, that they, because AA sometimes they get all fucking like oh, we want to just talk about alcohol and don't talk about your other addictions and stuff. And NA kind of includes all addictive substances, including alcohol, right? And that's why I like the Buddhist program, is because they even include like process addiction, like sex addiction and eating disorders and everything. It's all considered addictive behavior, So,
yeah. I think that's a lot of it. You get like addictive personalities. It doesn't matter what the substance is. It's the personality that's addictive. Do you know what I mean? So the same treatment would work with everyone with that kind of, or at least that's how I understand it. Like,
yeah, exactly. And they talk about that in the programs. Like, a lot of people when they get sober become sex addicts or they get addicted to food or whatever, just as a substitute.
Yeah, that's one of the things people say against like AA and that. It's like you just substituting drugs for like religion. Do you know what I mean? But like you said, how you described it, I can see that working.
I was actually I was watching a talk from Aaron Ra from BajaCon, and he was talking about exactly that, why religion works, because it causes the same chemical reaction in the brain. So a lot of people,
Yeah.
they get off drugs and alcohol, they find God and they start getting high on God. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. All the dopamine.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like all the dopamine, all the feel good chemicals in your brain. Yeah, like with the praying and the singing and the community and that. Yeah.
Doc,
Hello.
if you haven't had beer for 2 weeks and you need to make an effort, you might not be an alcoholic. So good on you.
Yes.
That's the trick.
That's
Like when they say, like, like even being sober for, like a long period of time, tend to still think about it a lot, and you have to really consciously make an effort to not go and get a drink. And
yeah,
a lot of that's just like conscious redirection. Like I need to keep myself busy, and then I don't think about it as much.
yeah. I've been off it for about 3 or 4 months now, and it's like the first 2 weeks were bad, but yeah, it does get easier. And I was that ill. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of put me off it for a long time. I think. What is
Oh,
going
I
on?
know. I know, like, it was like when I came back from rehab, whatever, I had that little slip there, and then I was doing all right for a while, but I was really caught up in like other people's drama and trying to take care of other people. And but so I had 98 days sober, and I wasn't thinking about it at all because I was constantly busy. And then once those
Yeah.
other people kind of disappeared from my life, it was like all of a sudden I had every excuse to drink, and I went out hard. I ended up in the hospital. I got in trouble at work. Like it was like, and it was a few months. Like I
I used
said,
to,
oh, get back to the program, but not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. And I knew it in my mind. It just wasn't there yet.
yeah, but like I said, like even 2 weeks, like I went for like liver tests, and I might have told you before, but the results came back and they said like most people with your results will be dead now. But it's like completely recovered within like 2 months. So yeah, like any like long period of it is it's good. The liver can like regenerate pretty quick.
Yeah, I was looking at because they did my liver test when I was drinking heavy last year, and then they did it when I first went into treatment, and then they did it after I came out, and you can see it like slowly getting better.
Yeah.
For my kidneys.
So are you still working at the moment?
No, I'm still on medical leave right now till the end of the month, so I'm planning on going back to work next month.
Cool.
Yeah, do it in September, and then as soon as I go back, pretty much I'll be taking a couple of days off to go back to the rehab center. They do like a 3-day stay. They call it a tune-up, and so you just go back in there and you host a group. And then you just kind of do a refresh on everything you learned in rehab. So
Yeah, yeah. Is that the Buddhist one or is that
no, that's a residential program out here that I found through my health insurance provider, and it's a really good program. It's all CBT and DBT based too, but they have their own things. So you do a map of your cognitive distortions, and then you do a map of your well, what they call how do they phrase it? It's like a relapse map basically, and there's different stages, like emotional stages you go through, that you're constantly like swinging through these stages, and you're trying to stay in center, right? And then you're
yeah,
either left or right of center, and the further left of center you move, eventually you end up drinking or using.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, so it identifies like what triggers you and what kind of emotional state you get into before you end up relapsing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. As long as you can, yeah. As long as you can. So would you do that like every couple of months or like for a couple of days? Is that like a regular thing? Or?
Yeah, so they offer it as a part because I'm a graduate of the program. So for all the graduates, you get two because it's really expensive to go there, right? My insurance covers a lot of it, but once you graduate the program, they give you 2 free tune-ups a year, and then you can also go up in for what's called a stabilization. Like if you're in really bad shape, they'll keep you for 10 days, and that's all free of charge. So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I went like, and this is not advice for anyone. It's the worst way to do it. But I went like cold turkey. I just stopped drinking. Basically, I was so ill. Every time I tried to have a drink, I would just like vomit in that. So I was waiting to get into like detox and rehab, which I think over here it's like £6,000 for like rehab. It's very expensive. I wasn't about to pay it, but yeah, they kind of reserve it, until you really need it. So yeah, I didn't have to do any of them just because of stopped myself. Yeah, I wish I'd been able to go. To be honest, it would probably been easier, but yeah.
I'm lucky because the health insurance provider I chose, they have like a really good addiction services here, and so they cover a lot because they pride themselves on being like the top medical provider for treating addiction, and specifically in my state in California, they provide like federal grants or no, state grants, I guess, from the government. So
Yeah.
these people waive a lot of the extra fees for what your insurance won't cover. So I went to detox again this last time back in June because I was having the same thing as having DTEs, and I just couldn't, I couldn't get through it. So I went in there for like 10 days. They gave me Valium and all of that stuff to wean me down. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, it is dangerous if you just stop. Like, apparently you can. I've never had one, but you can have like seizures that will kill you if you just stop. Without any medication or anything.
Yeah, and I've tried cold turkey before, and I could never get myself there. And I thought I was gonna have to go back to rehab just to get back to 30 days because it's been like even before when I was in the program, I made it like a week. And the day I got out, and this was for outpatient treatment. The day I got out, I went and I hit the bottle hard, So it's just like okay, so yeah, this has been a lot more willpower, but it helps that like that's the one thing about AA. I don't have to, everybody doesn't have to be my best friend, but I started giving my number out to a lot of people, and so these guys will all just call and check on me out of the blue. So it's like anytime I think I do need support, they're like calling me like, hey, what's up, man? You need a ride to a meeting? The stuff. It's like okay, there's like always somebody hitting up my phone now.
That's cool, yeah. So what's the reason like? I'm kind of curious because I've never been like. Is it like a? Do you get like your own rooms and that, or like how does it work? I was curious because I nearly went like, but I've never been to one. So yeah.
In residential.
Yeah.
So they're all different. I've heard some like real horror stories about a lot of them. The one that I went to seems to be like one of the best. I really liked it. I was really happy there. And it wasn't the first one I was going to go to. The first one I was going to go to actually turned me down because I told them I had like suicidal ideation, and they told my doctor they were afraid that I was going to like try to off myself when I got there. And so I ended up at the second choice, and yeah, it was just a really good program over there because the one thing they do is it's not all just meetings. Like they do offer 12-step and all of that, but you do process groups every day. They give you individual therapy to talk about trauma. They talk about trauma, sexual abuse, and all of that stuff too. So they really get into the mental health side of it too.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that's a cause. Oh, for a lot of people, that's the cause of a lot of it in the first place. Yeah, that's cool. And do you have to like stay in the building? Do they give you like activities? Can you just like do what you want or?
Yeah, so they can't force you. In my state, they can't. I'm pretty sure federally in the United States, but definitely in California, they can't force you to stay in rehab. So basically, their thing is it's voluntary when you go in there, but you give up your phone for the first week. They take your phone away from you for the first week, so you can't call anybody. Well, if you do, you have to use like their house phone, and they monitor the phone calls.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then that you have to have a family member who you assign so that if you try to leave, they're going to call that person first to try to get you to stay, right? Um, but, basically, like what I discovered pretty early on being there was that, even like there's a lock gate in the front, but you can sneak out the gates on the sides. You could leave out the back, like, and they can't legally stop you. Like, you just grab your shit and go.
yeah,
But they'll try. They'll try to persuade you to stay. So,
yeah.
and the deal
That's
is, if you leave before your day is up, you may not be able to come back. That's kind of the thing. They're like, okay, if you take off, then we won't let you back in. So
yeah, yeah. Suppose that's weird enough. That's what I was worried about, like whether it'd be like prison. Do you know what I mean? Like you're in a room all day and you can't do anything, and yeah, that's what I was worried about. But
some guy was telling me that his family tricked him into going to one in Mexico, and apparently in Mexico they can keep you. They kept this guy for like a year and a half against his will, like he was in a prison, and his family tricked him into going there. He didn't even check in voluntarily. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
yeah. Wow. So how are you feeling now? What did you say? A month into it? Because I started feeling better after about 3 weeks, a month. Like physically.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel physically and mentally better. Like I really like I'm counting a month, but like I only went out like a couple times since June, and it would be like one night here, one night there. So I had to keep resetting my sober time. But like I
Yeah,
wasn't drinking like heavy or long term at that point. So like
yeah,
really, I mean, this it's a lot better this time around. I'm definitely like a little manic right now. I'm starting to notice that more. I'm getting into little mood swings, and
yeah, yeah. I get
yeah, that.
that.
But I also had like a bunch of caffeine today, and I had a cup of coffee at like the 8 o'clock meeting. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That might not help.
yeah, like my other main thing was like with weed for me, like I didn't see weed as a problem before last year, and I really noticed the difference with not smoking too, like because when I first relapsed I just smoked weed, and then after I started smoking weed again for a couple of days I started getting panic attacks, which was really
Yeah,
weird because it used to be that if I didn't have weed I would get panic attacks, and now I get panic attacks if I smoke weed.
yeah. That's weird. I've always been like that with weed because I need to like think straight. Do you know what I mean? Weed actually makes me more anxious. Yeah, but it's strange that you've changed. If it used to get rid of the panic attacks and it switched. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I was just used to it for so long because I was on a lot of psych drugs when I was a kid. I went off of them when I was a teenager, and so by that time I started smoking weed every day. And so when I went off all this psych medication, I would just smoke weed to compensate for it. And I just kept smoking weed since I was like 12. And so, yeah, it definitely was just like way too habitual. I was so used to it that going without it, I felt like I was gonna fucking lose my shit. And then I realized that that was one of the things in rehab. I was like, okay, like I'll get used to this eventually. It just took a lot of time.
yeah, yeah. That's doubly impressive though. If you stop the alcohol and the weed at the same time, yeah, that must be difficult.
Yeah, and when I went into detox last year, I had also taken some crystal meth too, so I had to do all those at the same time: meth, weed, alcohol, all at once. Yeah, I don't know if you know the story, but before I went in last year, I had found a bag of crystal meth at the bus stop. And my dumbass, we got a fentanyl crisis over here. People are like, all the meth is laced with fentanyl. And I just picked up some random meth I found on the street and decided I was going to test it out. And it was a pretty good quantity. For a minute there, I thought I was going to sell it. And then, so I held on to it and I broke it up into little baggies I was going to try and go sell on the street. And then, so when they kicked me out of the outpatient program, I immediately went and bought a pipe and started spinning it, dude. I went nuts.
I was on that. No, I don't know the difference, but I was on like amphetamines for about 10 years as well. That was crazy. Yeah, I ended up hearing voices and everything. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I never had that. I never got the psychosis people talk about, but I got, when I would get on it, I would definitely start getting like really irritable, and I started getting like hypersexual. Like I was watching just tons of porn, and yeah, I was like, I actually that last week I ended up going out and I was looking for a hooker, and I've never been with a hooker, like, but I was looking for one because I was like, I just need something, and luckily I didn't find one, but I was looking, for a couple days, like just walking the streets, like I was gonna just pick up any random hooker I could find, dude, like it was crazy.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I've been with loads, yeah, but it's legal over it, so yeah. There's actually a website, and you order them, and they come to your house. But anyway, yeah. Well, probably best not mention that.
Oh yeah. No, like I had to cut that out. Well, when I first got clean off of crystal meth was in 2016, and in part because I thought I was losing my mind because Trump was becoming president, and my ex-girlfriend at the time who was using, she thought I was one of those lizard people. Like she was listening to that David Icke dude, and she legitimately thought I was a lizard person. Like, and she was dead serious about it. And I was like, okay, I really got to quit the meth now. Like this is getting too real, right? And so.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So was she on the same stuff like? It says she was a user.
Yeah, she was too. Since on parade, what's up, Gio?
Gio, rocks.
What do you need a sex worker for when you have two good hands? Oh yeah, so the point I was making about that was, I quit watching porn and everything. Like I was like, okay, I gotta like stop all of this because it just got crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't increase your sex drive. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I think I'm a lot more balanced now. It was like I used to just switch from substance to substance. That was my whole thing. That was like because I wasn't a heavy drinker before, and then when I quit using meth, that's when I started, becoming a heavy drinker, and it was just to switch one substance for the other, and that's why I really had to end up cutting everything out,
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do eventually. I was the same. Like I started at 14 on like painkillers. Then I was alcoholic for about 10 years. Then I took like amphetamines for 10 years, and then I was alcoholic again for about 10 years. So I was basically on substances all the way through. Like, I think you just got to stop altogether, or else you just got to keep, switching one thing for another. It's not good.
I almost start to like I've talked about before. Like I wonder if I can like sue the psychiatric, the doctors that put me on pills when I was younger, because like that was against my will. And, you know, they started me on Ritalin when I was like 6 years old. And ever since then, I was always on pills until I went off of them. And then I always self-medicated after that. But I kind of started to feel like they made me an addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Ritalin is basically amphetamine. It's the same. It's the same substance basically.
Yeah.
Was that for ADHD?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. John Lovell says, "I have a big cock." Good to know.
Yeah. If you want to show it on the channel, you can guess another.
Thanks for that.
I shouldn't even joke about that. I've been porn bombed so many times over here, especially this year. I don't know. They've got a hard on for me, but it's
yeah. Sorry, excuse me. I actually porn bombed myself not long ago while I was still drinking.
yeah.
Like totally blackout drunk. I don't even remember it. I was on, Tog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on his channel, and for some reason, I started dual streaming on PJ's channel, not even my own. So, and I ended up, getting the thing out and having a piss apparently. Absolutely no memory of it.
The funny thing is like I used to expose myself on stage when we would play shows. That I had a song for years. It's called the Cock Song, and so I'm talking about exposing myself. And one day I said I need to put my money where my mouth is, and so I've exposed myself on stage like maybe half a dozen times. You know, in clubs and stuff. You know, where we've been kicked out of clubs for it and shit. But you know, like I never really thought about it. Like one time, I did it at a birthday party, and there were like minors there. Luckily, that was at like a squat house. But I was like, I could be a fucking registered sex offender, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's not too good. Yeah. I was going to say that must take some balls, but obviously. Sorry.
Luckily, because you know I'd be in the front, but I have my guitar and I have my guitar slung like just right here, so that really, like most of the time, like you know, even if I pull my mic out, my guitar is still in front of it. So you kind of have to stand off to the side, or sometimes I would kind of wave it around, you know, do a little dance, and then you could see it. But most of the time, it was hidden behind my guitar. And I remember that night, the girl whose birthday party it was, she actually came right up to the front of the stage and puts her head down like she was looking up underneath. She wanted to see my whole junk, you know. She did. She got a good look, you know. Nice girl. She had a band too. Now she's a hairdresser.
Yeah. Lucky you weren't playing the flute. You know what I mean? That one felt.
Yeah, she wants to buy. I should see if she wants to hook up. No.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have at least got a number.
Yeah, I didn't realize the first time they came over to my house to play my house party for my 20th birthday, and I had no idea, like when I invited them, I didn't even ask. And they come over and we got a keg and jello shots and all that shit, and they were all like 15, 16 years old, all these kids, but they were wild and they brought all their friends. I was like, this is fucking punk rock. Like, I don't give a shit, you know? And it was great. Always had a good time.
Yeah, that's what being a musician's for. Yeah. You got to get the perks.
Yeah, this is a good thing I didn't hook up with him because that would have been statutory, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think he ratted me out at that point, though. Yeah, I was talking to a guy at the meeting tonight, and we were talking about starting a band because I found a sober bass player down here by me, and this other guy, he plays guitar too. And so I was talking about trying to hook up a new band with sober musicians. It's like all the guys I play with right now, either they all smoke weed or drink or do other shit, and I kind of start to feel like it's stifling the creativity a little bit, especially for me. Like I have to be around and I'm the only sober person,
Yeah.
So it's be a drag.
Yeah. You don't want that kind of like temptation around you, do you know what I mean? Yeah, to see that being tricky.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well with it, but then I just get agitated because I feel like people aren't as motivated as they should be or whatever, Like they're more interested in the party than the music,
Yeah. So what kind of music do you play?
Mostly like punk rock, like heavy metal type of stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I play a little bit of everything, but that's been my specialty. That's what I love to do, and it helps keep me feeling young, Every time I get back into that like '90s, like I love Bad Religion and Rancid and No Effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. That's my favorite album title. What was it? Punkin Drublic. Was that No FX or?
Yeah, it's a great album. And they do a too, or they did a tour, like based on they do a Pumpkin Drublic. I think they do it like every couple of years or something.
Yeah, that was really cool. So do you play like? Do you play like live gigs?
So I haven't it's been about 2 years, 3 years. So we're playing our first live gig. I have a band called the Trusty Apes too, which is where I got the name for this. So we're playing our first show in like 2 or 3 years, and it's like 2 weeks from now, September 8th. It's a pretty big club out in the Sacramento area, so it's like state capital. And like a lot of bands got big out of there, like Tesla, if you know who they are, and fucking Papa Roach, like they got big playing out there.
Yeah. But Nirvana from there as well. I know that's going back a bit, but
no, they did. They played through there when they were in their heyday. But they're from up north in Seattle. But yeah, that was like one of the spots they would stop when they were going from Seattle to LA. They would stop and do the Boardwalk and the Cattle Club in Sacramento. The Cattle Club isn't around anymore though. They closed down like right before I moved down to Sacramento, so we weren't able to play there.
Yeah, that's weird. So we both got our names from bands. I'm Wildheart because of the band The Wildhearts, a rock band from England. That's weird.
Right.
Where, to be fair, you were part of the band. I just totally stole the name. Nothing to do with the bands.
Yeah, I was on the fence about it. Like when I started doing the Trusty Ape as a YouTube channel, because I was like, that was going to be the name of my first band. Because on a long list of bands that I wanted, like I had made a long list of band names, years ago in like middle school or whatever. And I started my first band, and so I just put that list on the side, and then like years later when we were trying to start a new band, and they were like, "What are we going to call ourselves?" I said, "Oh, well, I have this list of names," and so we went through a bunch of them, and then finally the Trusty Ape came back out, and so when I formed this band in 2017, and then a couple years later, I decided I was going to do the podcast, and they kind of got a little mad about it because I used the name, but I said, like that was my name before, I met you guys, like I could use it for whatever I want. So I just did it anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I feel like, it adds a little bit of promotion because if you look it up, like online, you can find that band too, so.
Oh, cool. So, wow, I gotta stop walking.
I know, I just lit another cigarette too. I'll be doing that soon. I get worried sometimes because I don't think I cough up enough. Like at least when I used to smoke weed, it would make me cough shit up more. And I know some of that was from the weed, but now I'm like, okay, like how much of this nicotine and tar is just like building up in my lungs?
Yeah,
Sometimes I'll in the middle of the night and have a coughing fit, or like first thing in the morning. It's pretty bad.
yeah. Especially if you smoke like proper cigarettes. There's like formaldehyde and everything. Yeah, it's not good.
And I've been switching it up, so I smoke cigarette and I vape in between too. So I'm puffing the vape like every
Yeah.
other time I have a cigarette. So.
Yeah, that's good. The vapes aren't too bad. It's just like basically liquidized water with nicotine, and that's a lot better.
Yeah, I don't think they had like enough studies on it. So definitely, like they need to open me up when I die and check out my lungs. They could like do a lot of good smoker studies on me.
Yeah, I was gonna give my body up for like organ donations, but the liver's fucked. My lungs will be fucked. Yeah, might as well just burn.
I pretty much smoke all my drugs. Like over the years, like I smoked cigarettes, I smoked weed. I even tried smoking my pills when I was on pills a couple times. Like I smoked some Vicodin. I've smoked crack. I've smoked meth.
Yeah, I've done a lot. I've done like heroin about 3 times. It just made me feel sick. It just made me vomit. I didn't really feel anything. Like I said, like meth, alcohol, painkillers. Yeah, it's just been just anything I could get hold of. Really.
Yeah, like heroin. I've never tried heroin or fentanyl. There's a couple of times when I tried to take like oxys and stuff like that. I just got really sick, so I decided I was allergic to opiates. And even like when they give me the Valium, which I guess I think that's a benzodiazepine or whatever. Like I can only tolerate it like in small doses for a couple of days, and then I want to go off of it because I don't like the way it makes me feel.
Yeah, I'm still on diazepam now. On like tiny amounts, like, but yeah.
Funny story, John. When I was a kid, before I started smoking weed, I smoked oregano. I tried smoking oregano with nutmeg. I tried smoking oregano with basil, with parsley, and I used to sit and watch Cheech and Chong movies, and I would smoke oregano joints.
Does that actually do anything? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably mostly just from coughing your brains out. You get a head change, like it maybe some placebo effect in there or something. But yeah, like hyperventilating. I don't know. The nutmeg just makes you sick as hell, though. I saw that in a movie once, and I tried it. It's not good. It's not fun.
Oh, one thing I tried, like when I was very young, I read online, like if you say the inside of a banana, not the actual banana part, but the the white bit inside, and like crunch that up and bake it and then smoke it. It's some kind of drug, but yeah, it's not.
I've heard something. I've also heard if you dry it in the sun and then eat it, it's supposed to become a hallucinogen or something. But I don't know. I never.
Yeah, I might have just been doing it wrong. So what are you up to on YouTube? I've not seen you around in like side chats of that. Just still learning about the religious kind of stuff anymore. Or you just not going there?
It's hard to do from my mobile. So I had this hotspot for a couple weeks, and it's just fucking shitty connection. Like anytime I try to review videos or whatever when I'm out here, I just get horrible lag sometimes. So yeah, I've been trying to, like, right now while I'm in program, like I'll switch to my alt account, so like I can see your streams and like a few other people's streams, but I don't get like all my major notifications. I don't subscribe to like all the religious stuff on my alt accounts. I try to keep it like pretty minimalist, so I'm not getting, because over here like I'm getting notifications like like hundreds of them a day for all kinds of streams.
Yeah, that's
so like, the main people I've been focusing on lately is made by Jim Bob, who a lot of people are covering, and then this guy D Roy, Area of One. He's been one of my favorites to poke fun at because he's just so he's like the worst of the worst Christian, you know. And he's a self-hating black guy too. So to top it off, he's like, all right, this dude's just whack. But he's kind of like too easy, you know. Like there's no real theology in there. It's just like it's all just his opinion about what a real Christian is and shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Most of them like that. Yeah, I got banned off Praise's channel the other day. Like, no praise. Yeah.
Wow.
Like the dude has like not took over, but he's like joint owner of their channel now, and we don't get on. So as soon as I said like one sentence, he just blocked me. But yeah.
Oh, is that Standing for Truth, Donnie?
Yeah.
I know they've been doing together. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't stand that guy.
Yeah, he can be pretty condescending sometimes. I think sometimes his theology is pretty good, but then it's just like he's more in like almost like the Kent Hovind school though. I think like
I think he's a big fan of him. Yeah, which is a bad sign to start off with.
I've been listening to a lot of Missing Mod. I really like Missing Mod. I think she stopped coming by because I tried to hit on her too many times, though.
Yeah, she is nice to be fair. I've been on the channel a couple of times. Yeah. I was watching her yesterday, actually. I didn't go on the panel, but like Peter was on, Peter from Holland and some other people. Yeah, but she is nice.
Yeah, and this Peter's been over there a lot. So I just like try to listen to the streams. I'll say what's up, but I try not to get too into it. Like I don't really follow a lot of the drama they're talking about. The people that they're like focusing on, like Proverbs guys and stuff like that. Sometimes I just don't care to comment because they're already talking shit about each other. So I don't really have to do anything there, you know. Yeah, but I like Atheist Junior has been doing commentary with that guy Aiden, I think. And their shit they're hilarious when the two of them gang up on Kent Hovind, dude. They do some funny shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like all the Christian channels, they all have their own like theologies, and they all fight against each other. It's like on the atheist channels, you don't get that kind of rivalry and kind of hate. You know what I mean? Seems like every Christian channel is fighting with every other Christian channel, which is funny, but I don't mind it. But
yeah, I think there's certain like gossip that goes on more in the background of the atheist community, so you don't hear about it as much. But I've noticed that certain people don't come around or don't want to acknowledge me if I come over to their channels and stuff. It just and like anytime if I have criticized another atheist, it's like that's like a big no-no. Like you're not supposed to say anything about other atheists, which I think is kind of like, it's very like high school. It's like, okay, now I'm not your friend anymore, because I heard you were talking about this person or something like that,
that's what I said.
Session with those people. I just haven't had the introductions to be able to do that. But it's like, so there's certain people, I still listen to them, but I don't comment on their channels or anything. And I just like go, okay, I'm going to agree to disagree and avoid drama,
Yeah, it does get to it sometimes. Yeah. It's like a 6-hour stream and all we're talking about is, other people and, which channels the block from and who they've had arguments with and that.
Yeah, I don't think I've put the block on anybody in a long time. I just, pretty much, like I said, just just avoid them for the most part. There's certain people who I've gotten into some spats with out here. It's been a while. But I noticed we just, if we're in the same side chat together, we just don't engage with each other, which is fine. But yeah, like I had one content creator a couple of years ago who threatened me in a private chat because we were direct messaging on Facebook and threatened me. And then we had made up after that. And then they decided to come at me again and told me, "Fuck off, I'm done with you," and blah blah blah. And I didn't do anything to that person, like literally nothing. And it was basically over because I wouldn't take sides because they were in an argument with another person in the community, and I tried to just stay neutral. And I was okay, like so. Yeah, they told me to fuck off and all of that, and so yeah, we just don't engage with each other anymore. But I did, when they threatened me, I got those receipts and I just like put it into Discord so that people knew, like, hey, this person like legitimately threatened my life, Like,
wow, so, like physical threats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was from another atheist. So I was like, okay.
Man, I did have someone called Maximus on my channel the other day, and Bond. They were like having an argument, like fighting it out, and like Maximus, after about 2 hours, it ended up with Maximus threatening to like shove his fist up Bond's, and but actually pay for the plane ticket for Bond to go over to like England or Wales. So he would pay for Bond to fly over just so he could like stick his fist up. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I was listening on that one. I think I came in towards the end, but I think I could contribute. I was just like, whoa, is this really like still going? And he kept going on about it too. That was He's like, no, it wasn't a threat, bro. All right.
Yeah, bro. All he said he'd do was bro him. Yeah. I'm actually setting up like a one-on-one between them two. That'll be happening in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that should be fun.
Like an actual debate?
I don't know whether it's going to be a debate. Bond suggested that he just had a one-on-one. So like, there's no topic or anything. I don't know whether they just want to chat to each other for a bit, or whether it's actually going to be a proper debate. But yeah, I can't see it going well, to be honest.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there should be some type of moderation, but I don't know how you do that, especially with those two.
Yeah. I'm going to be the moderator, but yeah, like you said, I can't see how. I was trying to moderate. Yeah, you would have noticed I was trying to moderate on the last one. Yeah, they do a very good job.
That was one thing I thought I was going to do on my channel between those two people, and it did not work out. They just went off. They both started just going off, and I had no control. At some point, I was like, okay. And then I think I removed myself from the stream for a period of time, just let them go at it, and then one of them finally just raged out. But there was nothing was being, they weren't getting anywhere anyway. So it's like whatever.
I never thought of that. Yeah, I was just thinking, would I end up putting them both backstage? That might be the best idea. Just put myself backstage and just leave them to.
Yeah, exactly. I think on StreamYard it's hard because like they can unmute themselves, right? Like even if you mute them, they can go and unmute. Like,
yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I put people backstage, because they can unmute themselves after 2 seconds, so it's pointless, personally.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been good seeing you, man. I've got to go and take a nap. It's like 7:30 in the morning, and I've been up all night. So,
All right, yeah,
but cheers, man. Thanks for letting me know. Good to speak to you.
good chatting with you, brother. Thanks for coming.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. Bye.
That was nice. Seemed wild in a spell. So, piss people off somehow. I can imagine how that happens. I have the right to be pissed. You have the right to bear arms. Armed bears. What George Carlin would say, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is that you have no right to your opinion. Probably a good place to wrap then. Don't know what else to say except tomorrow will be a good day. I have a lot of shit to figure out, and that keeps me busy. That's a good thing. I will make attempts to go down to the library and obtain a room, so I might be able to stream from there with my other device here. And I usually have a pretty decent connection over there. And now that I have headphones, I won't be a nuisance. So look forward to that. I can either do that Friday or Saturday, depending on what goes on. I'm also going out to see a theater production on either of those nights. So I'll be out doing that and may do a little review on that production. Because it's happening August 23rd through September 22nd down here in the Bay Area, and I happen to know one of the stars. And yeah, it'll be at 1409 High Street in Alameda, California, at the Alt Arena Playhouse. And tickets are on sale now. I recommend you check that out if you're in the area. And once again, the Trusty Apes will be playing September 8th, 2024 at the Boardwalk in Orangeville, California. It's a birthday bash, a little music festival. It's our first time playing live in a while, so come see that if you're in the area. All right. Much love, everyone. Thanks to the side chat coming by. John, Geo Sam, saw Cryptomaria back there. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Toggles here. Miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Much love, be well, and stay trusty. See you next time.